In this business, it's amazing how much you feel drawn to these old places, and it's because they have a soul of their own.
Well, when the Civil War ended, Gullah people had an opportunity to buy property, and Daufuskie was a very vibrant community between the 1860s and the 1960s, really. The island is known for its fruits and grape orchards and farm produce. And Daufuskie had some of the best oysters on the coast. World renowned. They said the Queen of England ate the Daufuskie oysters. Oysters went bad in the late 1950s, and so they don't know exactly where the pollution came from, but it really destroyed the oysters around Daufuskie Island. Folks began moving to Savannah, and some folks migrated as far north as Philadelphia and New York. By the 1980s, the Daufuskie's population had dwindled to below 200. Of course, the young people have all pretty much left, except that a few are there, and some people say that they would like to return.
I want to be back there so bad. I just really, really want to go home.
By the time the development came here in the 1980s, there was in the 60s of the Gullah that were living here. Today, there's only 12.
It was one of the last islands that people could go and see the Gullah culture really in practice. And that's what's so sad about the fact that the population is no longer there. These symbols of the culture, these houses, as they decay, it goes out of the memory of everybody, including the families who left them.
Grandmom and grandpa, let me say, time brings all changes. But why does it have to change to lose something so precious? And these houses are precious. You can walk in them and feel the energy of the past.
We want to protect the story of these people that made such an impact on this island. That's what this is about. Palmetto Trust for Historic Preservation came to Daufuskie in order to try to figure out ways to save the last extant Gullah cottages that were left on the island. 2/3 of the island is either owned or under development or planned to be developed. And there's 1/3 of the island left that is considered the historic district. And it is there where you still have the remnants of the Gullah culture that was here, the houses that were here, and those are the places that we as the statewide historic preservation organization approach. How do we figure out a solution to make this work? And I think we found it. This is absolutely vital that we do everything we can to help the owners, the Gullah descendants, try to figure out ways that we can keep this culture intact as represented by the houses that their ancestors built.
People will miss those things after they're gone, but that doesn't help us. We need to maintain those things so they will be available for generations to come to be able to appreciate and learn from.
We were very fortunate to have a property owner come forward and willing to work with us. And that is how we were able to get hold of our pilot project, the Frances Jones House.
I am the owner of Mrs. Frances Jones' house. I'm the sole owner. Because of my accident, I haven't had the funds to do anything. It was a great opportunity to do something with the house, to try to preserve it, and I wanted to preserve the house.
This place was in major disrepair, but the main bones of the house was still intact and still in great shape. And what was really amazing was inside we discovered what we believed was an 1865, circa around that time, of Freedman's Cottage. That is Miss Frances Jones' great-grandmother's house. She started teaching school when she was just a teenager and taught for almost 40 years. And she impacted the lives of so many of these people. And every house, every family has a different need.
Frances Jones' house is really a great way to start the rebuilding of Daufuskie.
People always talk about culture, but they never include physical culture. And housing is a part of the physical culture of a group of people. And you have to preserve that also.
The only way this is going to save these places is for people, whoever's listening to this, think it's important to and participate in this campaign. That will save what's left of Daufuskie.
To want to see that happen to other homes on the island, including my grandparents' house, I'm for it. I am truly for it.
This is the land of maritime forest and still sandy lanes, and the homesteads of the Gullah inhabitants still standing. This is what people come to South Carolina Low Country to see. The dream of this program is to give the opportunity that was afforded Miss Francis's house, give that opportunity to all the other houses that are here that are still owned by the Gullah descendants.
And believe me, I would love to go back home. But I assure you, if that house got fixed up, everyone would go back home.
The project will allow people to own their houses again, to own a house that is in good repair and use it for themselves or, use it for their own economic benefit.
So they can have a place here on the island to live. They can have a place that they could make income off of through rentals and heritage tourism rental. Keeps it a place where generations from now, that story will still be here. The places you can go and touch where these people struggled and these people built will still be here. That's what this is all about and why we are so excited to have hope. So there's several levels of rewards of any of y'all out there that's willing to come and commit some funds to this project. Stays in this house as well as the second house, which is the Henson White home, which is on the other side of the island. Having a chance to come and take part in the history of the place, to experience Daufuskie firsthand, is what makes it all worth it. It's about capturing the essence and spirit of the history of the place. That's where it works. That's where when people come and see it, they go, wow, I've never felt this before. Every one of these houses have their own life, have their own soul from all the people who lived in them. And that's what we are communicating every time we come in and rehabilitate them. This is the first. We have more to do.
And I would thank each and every one of you who contribute and help us save our place of sweet Daufuskie Island.
Please help us save our Daufuskie.
We have this one chance for them to keep what they have. I think we all are excited enough to want to restore the others. And a project like this would benefit those folks, but more so inspire all of us to begin to keep what we have and restore what we have.